we made it work.
The other part, I kept saying, why did she leave MCA? You come out to Hollywood, and someone has seen you and wants you at MGM, but they want you because we can make her another Lana Turner.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
Well, the real back of that story is my dad, whom I loved very much, had had a heart attack, very severe. It was a very cold winter, and I thought that it would be a good idea to get my mom and dad out to California and in the sun and rehab in a sense.
Yeah.
And I was willing to make that dreadful contract, which I did, for 2 years, to live out in the sunshine and be out here and lose a lot of money. They didn't pay me what I was earning otherwise.
Because you were really a star in the nightclub circuit.
Yes.
The Little Club, Billy
All
Reed,
yes.
yeah.
And my records were going like crazy. I was selling a lot of records, and I was doing very well. And I made this awful contract, but I lost money, so that was okay. Wasn't okay, but I mean, I dealt with it. But they also prohibited me from making any money on the side.
Yeah.
In other words, I couldn't go off for a weekend and pick up a lot of money singing at a fancy hotel or anything. Couldn't do anything.
Weren't you also, though, publicizing or one of the women for a product at that point,
Oh, well, you're
too?
talking about Chiquita Banana.
Yeah.
They couldn't touch that.
Yeah.
That was a viable, that was so beyond, they couldn't prohibit me from finishing up my contract. I was Chiquita Banana for 14 years.
Ah. Do you remember what the song? Of course you remember.
Chiquita Banana, and I come to say, bananas have to ripen in a certain way, and when they're flecked with brown and have a golden hue, bananas taste the best and are the best for you. And it goes on and on.
Oh, bravo. Yeah. So all the time they're making you into a second Lana Turner.
Yeah.
And really, you were so much more beautiful being Monica Lewis than being secondhand Lana.
Well, she was very sweet. We were in a parking lot, I think, at one of the department stores. I was, I had never driven.
Yeah.
Living in New York, I was on the subway to the airplane. So I had learned to driving from Sunset Plaza Drive out here to Culver City to MGM. Yeah. I knew one way to go and get back. And but I finally discovered a store, and I went shopping, and Lana was in the parking lot, and she walked over to me and she said, "I'm Lana Turner." And I said, "I know." She said, "I was at your opening, and I love the way you sing, and we have all your records. And honey," she said, "don't let them do this to you." I said, "Well, I don't know what they think they're doing." She said, "No, it's very clear. I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
They think that I'm not going to come back and do what I do. But I don't do what you do. I don't know how to do what you do." And she said, "You're going to work on to be a good actress. If they give you a good part, you'll learn to be a good actress. That's all. That's the story." She said, "You've been performing since you're a kid, and you're still a kid." And I said, "I know, but I don't know what to tell them." She said, "Just tell them you want to be you."
Yeah. That's easier said than done.
Didn't exactly get through.
Yeah. But you do talk about your opening night. We're at Macombo?
Yes.
Oh, that had to, you must have
It was
wanted.
a disaster.
Yeah. Somebody gave you a pill to sort of calm you down? Or?
They said this would calm your stomach. I was having flutters. And it calmed me down, so I was like a bit of a zombie. But obviously the second night it didn't matter because we were packed and very successful. And I got what I wanted out of it.
Marvelous pictures in this book, and a marvelous picture of
Ronald Reagan.
And the fact that you were both single at the time.
Yes.
And the fact that how you really got to know him and he fell in love with you.
True.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah. What kept you from marrying him?
I liked him very much, and we had a good time. We had a great rapport.
And he gave you a marvelous
medallion.
Medallion that is in many of the pictures here. That was Saint
Genesius.
To guide your career.
Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Yes, he had it made, and well, I wasn't ready. Be honest, I wasn't ready, and I just thought, you know, we were wonderful friends. We had a romance, no question about it, but I was not ready to be married, perhaps at all, and I know that I wasn't ready to marry him.
Yeah.
And about like running simultaneously, I met a young man who was a screenwriter, and I fell madly in love with him. Which finished off the Reagan thing.
Liam O'Brien.
Yes.
Who was known for having all of his girlfriends become Catholic.
I know.
Yeah, and you went through that.
We don't want to get through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, I lived through I was engaged to him to marry him for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And I had to battle my way through a lot of stuff, and finally got the dispensation from the Pope himself to allow me to marry him, at which point I was so thoroughly exhausted.
Yeah.
And as I say in the book, I'd broken everybody's hearts, including mine.
Yeah.
And so I just couldn't go through with it.
But Ronald Reagan calls you just before he's going to marry Nancy, and he wanted to get together for like one last drink.
I think it was just an offer of friendship, and I think he wanted to talk, and he wanted to know how I was doing, and he wanted to, it's known as tying up loose ends.
And now there are the other pictures.
Oh, those are great. That's Nelson Riddle, the great orchestrator and arranger.
Yeah.
And all the records I did. I don't know how many records I did in my life. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's endless.
And also Frank Sinatra. And but he treated you well. I mean, you said, look, I'm a kid, I'm not interested.
Yeah, Frank was like a big brother.
Yeah. And probably it was a much better relationship than anything else would have been.
Would have been, yes.
Yeah. But now I'm looking for the picture of the wonderful Jennings Lang.
Oh, he was the best.
Yeah.
He was the best. I lucked out.
Yeah.
I married Jennings Lang, and I had the best marriage. Everybody said it won't last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
40 years.